Hello, everyone. This is J Roll. Welcome once again to the J Roll Call podcast. We're so happy that you came today, and today we have another exciting interview. We have a gentleman here, Terry Williams, who has 30 years of experience in law enforcement. He was a sergeant with the Department of Florida Department of Corrections, retired and came back. Now he's working. He also has experience in the Pat Thomas Law Enforcement School or Academy, and we're glad to have you here today.
Thank you.
And we just wanted to ask some questions, and we want the audience to get a chance to know you. So these are rapid fire questions. You got to answer them as fast as you can, all right?
Okay.
All right, what's your favorite color?
Blue.
Favorite sport?
Football.
All right, favorite WWE wrestler?
Hulk Hogan.
Okay, all right, favorite Michael Jackson song?
Beat It.
Okay, favorite movie of all time?
Gone in 60 seconds.
Gone in 60 seconds. Your first car was?
Chevrolet Chevelle.
Okay, all right. Favorite dream car?
Don't have one.
Okay, let me see. Perfect vacation spot?
What is it with Mickey and Minnie? Walt Disney.
All right.
Yeah.
Favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Favorite cartoon character?
Tasmanian Devil.
Okay. Favorite topping on pizza?
Hamburger.
Hamburger. Kool-Aid or soda?
Kool-Aid.
Apple or Android?
Apple.
Favorite animal?
Dog.
Sub or hamburger?
Good old hamburger.
All right. Let me see. Preference, antique furniture or contemporary furniture?
Contemporary.
If you chew it now, would you prefer bubble gum or chewing gum?
Bubba.
Bubble gum?
Bubba.
All right. Paintball or laser tag?
Paintball.
Here's a hard one. Would you prefer an ATV ride in the mud or jet skis in the ocean?
Jet ski in the ocean.
Marvel or DC? You got your Marvel characters, your DC characters.
Marvel.
If you had ice cream, would you want it in a bowl or on a cone?
Cake cone.
Cake cone?
Cake cone.
All right, cake cone says it all. All right, so we just wanted to ask you some questions here as we move along. So now you guys know him a little bit. How do you encourage inmates? And that's where we really want to start here, because most people think that corrections is about depressing or holding down the inmate when it's not that. Yes, there are boundaries that you must have there. Must be professional. You must have ethics. You must have certain codes. But on a day-to-day basis, you deal with inmates. How do you encourage them?
Well, I found over the years that first thing is, when dealing with inmates, you have to be able to have the conversation. And sometimes the conversation start a little rough because you have to get that gentleman's or that female's attention. Okay. But it's all about once you have the attention, then having the conversation. Sometimes folks say, well, hey, I what you want me to get on their level? Sometimes we have to get on their level in order to encourage them to do better. So it all starts with the conversation itself. I'm just one who even though I know the book, I don't throw the book at them. Right. I will tell them, hey, you know what you're doing is not correct. And if I follow the rules, this is what's going to happen. But let's talk about how you can fix this. Okay. So therefore, I don't have to write you up.
So therefore, you put everything on them. This is the way it goes. You all know what the policies are. If you follow the policies, we don't have to worry about confrontation.
Exactly. We don't have these issues.
Okay. All right. And so therefore, how is it you have these conversations, but just let our audience know how you maintain your professional boundaries, even though you have these conversations with them?
The book that Department of Correction has, it gives you all your do's and don'ts verbatim for us to follow. But sometimes it takes a little interpersonality skills to let this individual know, I know what you're going through. Okay, I understand that this occurred in your life, and I understand you made some mistake. But here again, we're going back to the conversation. Right. So what the mistake has been made. The judge has done the sentence. But what are you going to do right now that's going to lead you back into the right direction and not, here's the key, and not return? because so many the recidivism rate for the state of Florida is 24 to 28%. That's high.
Yeah, yeah.
Very high.
Yeah.
So it's not that they don't want to go home. They're ready to go home in their mind, but there's something they're not preparing for because the numbers won't be so high.
Well, in essence, it seems like, yes, safety first, professional boundaries, but also there seems to be a responsibility to humanity that a correction officer must have. Would you agree?
Must have, yes, yes. You know, one of the best classes that I've ever attended in training as a correction officer was called interpersonal skills.
Okay.
Interpersonal skills was that class that will put the officer in a place to where when he interjected with this inmate,
Okay.
it appeared to that person that he was interjecting with that I understand, I care, and it kept it on a level to where it makes the person that they was conversing back and forth with, it made them more open to speak about what was going on.
Right.
But how about this class is not given anymore? Interpersonal skills been yanked out, and they brought some new stuff in. Here's my problem. Each officer need, in my belief,
Right.
need interpersonal skills. Why? Because our newer generation of officers don't converse a whole lot because they're being raised, they're coming up in technology, phones, tablets.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yes. Oh,
so
yes.
there's not a whole lot of one-on-one conversations.
Right. Right.
So when these officers get the job as correction officers, they don't know how to converse back and forth with the inmate. So if you don't know how to converse back and forth with the inmate, how are you going to be in charge of the inmate?
Oh, I got you. Because what I'm seeing is, and I see a lot of correction officers that are really positive people, and I see them being positive, and I see them trying, even though they have those boundaries, I see them trying to pour into the young men or the young ladies that they're working with. And I think that they have a greater understanding of humankind. Even though a person is incarcerated, I still see them in a way where they respect these, the individuals, the inmates, I might call them clients, as people. And I think that's that has a lot to do with their growth. And in what ways are you able to help inmates grow, as far as you just talking with them, words of encouragement or something you say? What's a key skill that you have that they don't even know it's a skill that you're using on them? You already talked about interpersonal, but something that just comes from T-Will. What do you have that just gives them that, man?
Yeah, when it comes down to working with people that are incarcerated, there's a saying back in the day, you still hear it now. How are you going to tell me how to get off of drugs if you had never smoked before?
Okay, yes. Oh, I deal with that all the time.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
So in corrections, I found that the more open the individual are, the more the inmates tends to believe.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what happened to me wasn't planned, but it came through a conversation. And a guy, I think it was Liberty CI, but I had a conversation with an inmate, and he was talking about how bad he had been, how long he had been on drugs, and he was in and out of prison. It's like 4 or 5 times he'd been in prison, and he just did not know how he was going to get off them drugs. And then something spoke and just said, "Hey, tell your story." And I told him, I said, "Hey, let's look at man. I need for you to understand, if God could bring me out of crack cocaine and alcoholism, and 6 months later have me going to school as a correction officer, what you think he could do for you?"
Whoa, hold up, T-Will. You mean you actually dealt with that big C word, crack?
Yes.
And alcoholism?
Yes.
And you got over that?
Yes.
So technically you're in recovery?
Yes. For over 30 years.
My man.
For over 30 years.
Boy. What?
And let me keep on.
No, go.
But you have me crying up in this thing.
All right.
When I go talk my God and Jesus what He done for me, boy, look, I get a little shaded. I don't know what to do.
Don't worry, we got tissues up in the house.
Okay,
y'all, look. I am not in recovery, and I work in substance abuse. And people ask me the question he's asking all the time. We're going to get back to his question. So for him to actually be in it, or as I say, be in recovery, and working with many people that are going through it themselves, he has a step, or he can go beyond the bounds that I can go. So, and it also sounds like God did something for him. I know we got some believers out there that can say amen, but if God has done something for you. So go ahead, share your story. Don't let me interrupt.
So I told the young man, where I had come from, and he was like, come on, Saul. So I actually started describing different things that crackheads do. Mm-hmm. And he looked at me, he said, "You serious?" I said, "Man, I'm dead serious." So we had a great conversation. Maybe a couple of weeks later, I had several inmates come up and say, "So let me holler at you. What's going on?" The boys talking about used to be on dope. Yeah. That went on for a couple of months. More and more inmates started coming. Mm-hmm. They started asking questions and stuff. And it wasn't all about my laugh. Now they want to match what I had gone through to what they're going through. Mm-hmm. In reality, there's nothing wrong with joining a man on his level.
No.
In order to pull a man out.
We call that relatability.
Okay?
Yes.
All right.
You can relate.
So, but here's the kicker. About a couple of months later, I get a phone call, and they say, "Hey,
from who? Phone call from who?
From one of my captains." Mm. He said, "I need to talk to you. Meet me out." So, okay. I went out. He said, "I call you out here because this is a private conversation, and I want to let you know what may be happening." I said, "Okay." I said, "I got word that you're talking about your personal life or past life 10 minutes." I said, "Yeah." He said, "How do you feel about that?" I said, "Cap," I said, if I was concerned about it, I wouldn't do it. Mm-hmm. I said, this is not about me now. Mm-hmm. I said, "Here's the deal." I said, "I know folks gonna say that it's about me." I said, "But they're missing it." Mm-hmm. I said, "It's not about me. All I'm doing is reflecting what was in my life, but it reflects back to their life." Mm-hmm. I said, "So it's to give them pointers that, hey, if I can do it, or if God can do it for me, mm-hmm. He could do it for them."
All right.
I said, because what do you find? Every bunk you go to, you find every inmate got a Bible.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
So whether or not they read it or not, they got it.
True.
Okay. So that he said, "Okay, I just want to let you know."
Right.
He said, because some other folks may call on you.
Right. Now, see, everybody, this is what I want y'all to understand about T. Will here. T. Will doesn't play the radio. He can run a yard by himself. He can handle 400 inmates by himself, and everybody walks in line. You can hear a butterfly land when he's on the yard because he demands that type of respect. He's not playing with them, but at the same time, they know he's compassionate, they know he's fair, and they know he understands them. And he knows each inmate by name. He's able to identify with them no matter who they are, what culture, what background they come from. And that's why he's doing this interview today, because of his connection with people. Once again, we're trying to show you that just because a person is a correctional officer doesn't mean they have to be mean and ornery. Yes, he has to protect himself and protect others. But at the same time, there's a human there, and this is what I want you to see. But let me apologize. Let me just go back a second, and I should have done this first, and I apologize. What made you want to become a correctional officer? I should have asked that earlier.
Okay. In 1994, my sister, bless her soul, my sister was a correctional officer for Florida Department of Corrections, going to college. Actually received the presidential award from the dean of the university. She was stabbed 13 times by her. Wasn't her ex, she wasn't married to us, but by her boyfriend at the time. From her lifestyle and being a correction officer and anger in my heart of what had happened to her, knowing he was going to prison. I figured that's the best way I could catch up with him is in the prison system.
Okay.
So God blessed me to get into the field. Some of the families found out what I was planning and they stopped that whole thing. But then God turned my heart and said, hey, I'm going to use you for this. And that's what he's done.
Man, what a story. So from substance abuse to the physical abuse and assault of your sister, you wound up in this field. And you've been in the field how long again?
30 years, 1995.
Wow. And what has it done for your life?
Honestly, correction was my come up.
Okay.
When I moved back home from Washington, D.C., my first job paid me $4.50 an hour.
Wow. Tell it to people now.
Okay. Okay. Well, tragically, losing my sister, I wasn't thinking about nothing. All I was thinking about was revenge. But I've always been a working man, either on drugs or not on drugs. I always kept a job.
Okay.
So in the midst of mourning my sister and working a penny ante job, the call came through one day and said, hey, aren't you a veteran? So, yeah, what's going on? How would you like to be a correction officer? I'm like, well, how do we do that? And it wasn't even 2 weeks before I passed all their tests and hit the training.
So you would say some doors start opening up for you?
A whole lot of doors, But I got to throw this in there.
No, please go ahead.
So one of the things that it should have scared me, but it didn't. The truth brought me where I needed to be. So I went to actually the female prison in Gaston County. I think they call it RTC right now.
Okay, all right.
It was opened up by a company out of not Louisiana, out of Kentucky. I think it was Correctional Corporation. So when I got the call, I took it, and the opportunity came. So I went and I met the folks, and the first thing you have to do is take a urinalysis test. So I've been clean. I have been clean 6 months. Exactly.
Okay. All right.
So I took the urinalysis, and so I'm ready to do the paperwork because I ain't worried about that.
You're not worried about that?
No, I'm worried about that at all.
All right, we ain't worried about it.
So the young man came out. He got this look on his face. I'm like, dude. I'm saying to myself,
yeah,
dude, what's wrong with your face?
Yeah.
He said, Mr. Williams. I said, yes, sir. He said, all I can do is say it. That's okay. We can't hire you. I said, why you can't hire me? He said, because your analysis come up positive. I'm like, hold on. Now, we got a problem here. so I commenced to tell him what's going on, but he's not listening.
No.
Well, you can try again. I said, no. I can't try again.
No. Now, right now?
I need this right now.
Right now.
I said, look at him. I said, I'm not fussing. I said, but I need your supervisor. He said, you see, I said, I'm telling you, man, I need your supervisor. So he went back, got the guy. And he come back, he said, I hear that you failed the urinalysis test, and now you want to talk with me. I said, not only that, I need to tell you a story. He said, what's that? And I went to tell him, I said, look here, I have been clean exactly 6 months. So ain't no way in the world you going to tell me that I'm positive. Right. He said, what? And he said, well, clean for what? And I told him, I was crack, cocaine, alcohol, little dude, I've done it all, marijuana. I said, but you can't tell me that I'm positive. I said, because I know I've been clean up to the day, 6 months. And he looked at me, he said, you know what? Something ain't right. He said, now, let me ask you something. On the way here, did you stop anywhere? I said, yeah, I stopped by Burger King. He said, okay, did you get something to eat?
I know where you're going.
I said, yeah. I said, I got the little sandwich there. He said, did it have sesame seeds on it?
There you go. Yep.
I said, yeah.
They came up with opiates?
Yes.
I know it. Yep.
I'd have never thought the sesame seeds on a hamburger would make you come positive.
Because they come from the poppy. The poppy seed is the same seed as opium.
Ain't that so?
Yeah, so therefore, You can come up positive for it, but that's a whole long story.
Whole long story.
And so now, but go ahead, tell about the victory.
So when I told him that, he said, you know what, let's do this then. I'm gonna give you 1 hour. I need you to drink so much water, and then we're gonna give you another test. And if you pass that one, you in. I sat there 1 hour. He told me I could not leave the room. I couldn't go nowhere. Stay in this room, drink this water, we good. I stayed in there. We did just like he said, went back and got negative. And I've been working in corrections ever since. That was 1995.
Woo, that was a blessing. That was a close call.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That was a close call.
Yes, sir.
So let me just ask you this. Is there one inmate that sticks out in your mind their story was so powerful and you saw a drastic change in them?
There was a guy. His name was Maxie. And Maxie had been in prison, if I'm not mistaken, 4 or 5 times. The last couple of times was all about violation of probation. Now, Maxie would tell you, hey, this crime, I did them.
Right.
He said, but this right here and this right here, this is all about, I think the first one, probation violation was that they was somewhere down south and in the community, the county is like split.
Okay.
You go across one road and you're in another county. And so when his probation officer came to see him,
right,
he was across the line shooting basketball. And there's only like 2 roads to separate them.
Yeah.
The second one was that somebody in his family was getting married and he was living in Tallahassee, and the wedding was in Bainbridge, which is only 30 minutes away. So his mother wanted to go, so he went, got her, and they went up there. And while they was up there in Georgia, 30 minutes away, the probation officer found out, I think through pictures or whatever.
Pictures?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And that they put online and stuff. And that's how she violated. Now,
okay.
And this the thing that made me remember Maxie. When Maxie, I was at Liberty CI, inside grounds, yard man. I was just like what I'm doing now.
Right.
Cutting grass, stuff like that. But I had the discipline squad. The guys who come out of confinement automatically came to my squad.
Oh, okay.
All right. So I had 33 guys with 32 push mowers. No motors.
Oh, so you just had to
Yes. Yes, with the blazers keep going to turn.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Okay.
Call them Flintstones.
Okay, Flintstones. Makes sense.
So
some of y'all don't know about Flintstones. So you see,
Flintstone is the lawnmower that does not have a motor. The person who's pushing it is the motor.
There you go.
Okay,
all right,
that's a Flintstone. So Maxie came and we cut the whole compound of Liberty with Flintstones. We cut the rec field with gas because it was too big.
Okay.
So Maxie come out of confinement. He come to my work squad, and he kind of showed resistance in the beginning. But hey Max, this is what we do, man. This is how we do it. We're gonna do it, no problem. So Maxie came to work for about a month. That 5th week, I said, Maxie, get your more, man. We going to work. He said, no, I'm not doing that. I said, hold on, dude. What we talking about? He said, I ain't doing that. I said, Maxie, F you. Oh, so we put Maxie in handcuffs. We took him back to confinement. Maxie did 30 days. He come back to my work squad again. All right, Maxie, get your lawnmower. No problem. Maxie worked again for 30 days. On the 5th week, Maxie, get your lawnmower. Dude, I ain't doing that. I said, Maxie, what's going on? Man, F you. Put Max in handcuffs, take Max to confinement. We did that like 4 or 5 times. So finally, Maxie come out. He come back to my group, and he said, can I let you will? I said, yeah, what's going on, Max? I said, because, dude, I don't know about you sometimes. He's not, I need for you to understand, so. It's okay. He said, my last 2 bids was for a violation of probation. He said, but have you realized that every time you send me back to confinement, when I come back, I'm smiling? I said, yeah, I thought you was crazy. He said, no. He said, what they do is when they find me guilty, they take game time away. If I continue to do this, he said, forgive me now. I need to do this about 4 more times.
So
he said, but
he didn't.
They are taking his game time, so when he get out of prison, there will be no probation.
Wait a minute. Explain game time to me.
Okay, so game time, when an inmate does a full month of working without getting in trouble, he gets 10 days free, which we call game time. And those 10 days are subtracted from the time that he has to do in prison.
Right.
Okay, so over the years that Max had been in prison, he accumulated hundreds and hundreds of days in game time. But so he would get these DRs, go to confinement, they would take 30 to 60 days of game time because of DR, and then he come work for me.
DR is a disciplinary report.
Disciplinary report. I'm sorry about that.
No. We're educating them as we go along. We're educating them.
And so his thing was, well, long story short, approximately 6 months later, Max came to Tallahassee with no probation at all.
So he was like, look, I got messed up on probation. We're not doing that again.
We're not doing it again.
See, what a lot of people don't understand is many of them are so intelligent.
Yes.
They understand, some educated, some not educated, quote unquote, or some street educated. But these guys know what they're doing. But look, T. Will, I mean, we just touched the tip of the iceberg here. We're going to have you back. Believe it or not, we're off our time limit. But if you just have a word of encouragement for somebody out there that's tuning in, that turned by the channel and said, let me see what you're talking about. And they're trying, you're saying, man, I've messed up in my life before. I've been incarcerated. What would be some words of encouragement that you would have to give them? Just look right there in that camera, just tell them.
You know, I know a lot of people have different beliefs. Let me tell you about me. I have had a troubled childhood, upbringing, and I come from a good family, church going, hard working. But I found my own way, which was the wrong way. But I believe right now, sitting here today, that over all these years, I have been protected by God himself, his son Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. Because too many times I should have been shot off somewhere, locked up somewhere. He chose not to put me there. This conversation that you and I are having right now, I think it was predestined by God, because if he helped me to get through all these other things to have this conversation with you.
Wow.
So those of you who have gotten out of the system, who's gotten locked up and you got another chance, stop trying to do it by yourself. And I'm not preaching. I'm telling you, I'm not preaching. I just said the other day, I'm trying to stop from cursing, using profanity. But stop trying to handle it by yourself. Get on your knees. Here we go now. Get on your knees. Pray. And you ain't got to get on your knees. But pray with a strong heart. Tell God exactly what it is that you desire. Believe in your heart that he shall give it to you, and continue to walk with that faith each and every day. Watch what happens.
Hey guys, that's all the time that we have today. We have had a great time with T. Will. He has taken us through the academy, through his addiction, through some experiences that he has. And look, there's so much more. And if you guys tell me you want him back, we're definitely gonna have him back, because he even has a 501(c)(3). He has an organization that's running that we couldn't even get to today. But look, that's all the time we have. This has been J. Roll on